All right. Welcome to our last meeting, our last session. It's Tuesday, DES 470, and this will be the final one. After this, there's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So keep that in mind. Let me start off by saying, as a reminder, I'm in Blackboard tomorrow night from 7 o'clock until 11. I'm not in on Friday. And on Saturday from 7 o'clock until midnight. So if you want to catch up with me, either one of those times, please feel free to do so. I'll be more than happy to help you, work with you and get caught up or, critique you, whatever you'd like to, whatever you need, The other thing is you have my phone number, you have my email. If you want to contact me one of those two ways for whatever reason, maybe you want to arrange a different time for critique. If I'm available, I'll be more than happy to give you that time. So anyway, that's that. What I'm going to be doing tonight is I'm going to be going over some direct mail information. I've got an interesting article to go over with you on creating a piece of art for Facebook. Should you choose, I believe you said that you were going to do a direct mail postage piece. So I wanted you to have some information about that. Another really good option would be to design a Facebook masthead. That's something else that you could do for your project. You also could do your YouTube video, and I've actually produced a YouTube video, quite a substantial one for my customer, John Carino, which I showed you a little bit of, and I'm not going to play any more of it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to show you I'm going to go back and take a look at my final thesis paper with you so that you could see where I went in and I created a storyboard for the video, and I really didn't have to do a storyboard for the video because, frankly, John and I had been working on his PowerPoint presentation, which was the basis of his video. We've been working on that for months, and modifying it and making some minor changes and adjustments, duplicate copies with different information that for different shows that he would be holding. So we were pretty much tight with what we were going to do with the bulk of that video. But hello, Casey, how you doing? I'm glad to see you here. Hi, Casey, how are you?
Hey, Bill.
How you doing tonight?
Actually, I'm tickled.
Why? What happened? You win the lottery?
No, but when it came to instructors next to you, I did.
What happened?
Dana Alderman.
Yeah?
Sent me a message today, and she used to be my AD, and we're really close, and I really like the way she teaches and stuff like I do you.
Yep.
And she sent me a message today. She says, "Guess who's your teacher for your capstone?"
She is.
I was like, "Who?" And she goes, "I am."
Hey, there you go. You like her, right?
Yes. Oh, I love Dana.
Good. Excellent.
Dana and I are very close, and I feel like you and I are getting close.
Yeah, well, this is great. I had you last time, and you did come in some of those nights, and I had you now alone. So it was basically, this is all for you. So yeah, I mean, like a private tutoring session, 4 nights,
and
4 kid.
Was it for you?
No, for you, 4 kid. Yeah, you're stuck with me.
I'm not stuck with you. I consider it an honor.
Good. I'm glad that you're here. So
Facebook is almost done.
Good.
All I need to do is add it to the PDF.
Good.
And put the 150 words in.
All right. Well, here's the deal. We could do one of two things. I have some interesting information on direct mail. I think you were saying you were going to make a postcard, right?
Yeah, I thought about it and switched to the Facebook, but I can also do a postcard. That's not a problem.
You can do both.
Yeah,
I mean, if you got Facebook done, you got a
yeah.
Facebook. Okay. Well, I
Pretty
also
much
have
done.
a really cool article on creating a Facebook. So what I did was there's a video here and there's a download guide. The reason that I'm have this here and I want to show it to you is because I've been through a couple of classes and I work in Blackboard and I have students come in to me and I try to explain to some of the students who are telling me that they have to design a postcard, and I'm telling them that there are postal regulations and
Are
they
you talking about class design 250?
it could be, I don't really remember the exact course, but
Well, Dana and I had Dana for that course and the postcard thing,
yeah.
and you're giving me more information that she had at the time.
Well,
So
I got a lot of guff from some of the students because they were like, "Well, our instructors weren't telling you this," and I'm like, "Well, the reason I'm telling you this is because if you go and do creative on the backside and you violate these regulation areas, the postal service is gonna accept it."
exactly.
Oh, well, my instructor didn't tell me that. I could put it anywhere. And I'm like, okay, well, you do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, so I'm telling you this not to be a pain in the butt, but because
No.
it's something that you need to be aware of, that there are specific areas. So what I'm getting at is I actually created a link for you to this page. And I also downloaded for you the all-in-one postal guide, which I have up here. Okay, so I have the
Awesome.
guide. It's somewhere up there. I have the guide, and we're going to look at that. I have
Okay.
I have this link right here, which you can go to, and it'll take it to this page. And this is a 90-second video that talks about it. So what we'll do is we'll just watch this 90-second video, and then you'll have a link to go back to that. If you
Awesome.
want, I also have the create a Facebook banner that rocks 10 expert tips. Have you ever been to that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I can send you a link to that in an announcement before the end of the night, but I've also got that. So, and then I've actually created a card and I've created a banner. I could go through that and show you what I did. Or if you want, we could work on your stuff. What would you rather do? I mean, this is your last night, and what would you like to do?
Well, some of the stuff that you've already got planned, I'm all for.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like to have that stuff in my belt because, the more informed I am,
Yeah.
the better designer I will be.
Yeah. So what happens is why I do what I do is if you notice when we go into the course gives you specific things that you have to think about, but it doesn't really ever tell you the complete story. So what I
No.
try to do is I try to look at things from my experience. I've made all this stuff from one time or another, and I know a lot of this stuff because I've been through it. So I look at a project and I say, well, we're making postcards here. It doesn't say anything about making the back of a postcard, and you could make a pretty fancy back of the postcard, but you have to be aware that there are certain areas that you can't
There's
violate.
areas you can't go
That's right.
into
So yeah,
because
so you got to be careful where you put things. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
some people don't want to hear that because it's like, well, my instructor didn't tell me this. And I'm like, well, no, I'm telling you. I'm trying to help you out here. I'm trying to give you some good information. So
And as far as I know, you do give me good information, so I
well, I
have no
try to.
issues.
I
I said, I have no issues.
So, all right. So anyway, I downloaded the guide. You got the guide. You got the link to this. I'm going to shut this thing off, and if I can, there we go. And let's just watch. Here's this 90-second video. It shouldn't take very long.
Okay.
Jeez, is that all volume I got?
Postal guidelines to help ensure
Wow, that's
successful
terrible.
work. When you download the guide from the link below, you will see the dimensions.
Can you hear that?
Required by the post office.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
For each product, mailing the letter rate. When you download a layout template, you will notice an additional PDF file named Postal Guide built to the size of your product. Direct mail is automated, so mailing layouts must follow strict guidelines set by the USPS. Our guides show the measurements and layout for products. Here's a quick summary. The indicia area is where Modern will inkjet the indicia, or where you would place a stamp if you were mailing the piece on your own. The addressing area is where the recipient's address will be placed, and the barcode clear zone is where Modern will inkjet the barcode, or where the post office would print the barcode if you mail these yourself.
Let me stop this here for a second because I want to say something. See, you have a postage stamp area, and you have an addressing area, and you have a barcoding area. To be totally honest with you, it's not that much space. But I mean,
No.
it should be taken into account because the Postal Service requires it, you know? So if you're going to design something, I mean, you basically can design anything you want all through here. You can really do a lot of really fun stuff with the back of a card. A lot of people know this, but they don't understand that, you know, there are certain areas that you have to avoid. So somebody might just run something right across the top like that. You can't do that, you know? Or something might run right across the bottom. You can't do that, you know? So you got to know these things. That's why I make a big deal out of showing this.
And I'm grateful.
This low address area is where the post office will use auto.
Some people think I'm full of it.
Deliverable addresses. Make sure there are no additional addresses.
Nah,
USPS
they're full of it.
to that address instead of the intended recipient. This is an example of how a mail piece would look with the inkjetted indicia.
There you go. So stop for a minute. Let's take a look. So you see, from a creative standpoint, this is actually pretty cool because if you leave this much space right in here and this much space up there,
You can do so much with it.
yeah, you can actually create almost an entire front on the back as well. Now, maybe one of these things might not be a picture. Maybe one of those things might be a block of copy. But the reason I'm pointing this out to you is because if you're going to make a card, it might be a great idea to make a front and the back of the card. And then again, you know, you don't have to. It's up to you. I mean, whether you want to actually set real copy or whether you want to set fake copy, position copy. Either way, it's good by me. But I'm just saying, maybe you want to look at it from that standpoint. Put a front and a back on the thing and show me what you would do. Because the majority of the time when I used to make cards for people, I used to have to design the front, and I also had to design the back. That's why I know this stuff, because I've almost never produced a card that didn't have a back to it. And, you know, they wanted stuff, they wanted information and good information on the back as well as on the front, you know?
Let's see what I could do taking this particular format that we have right here. Okay? Take a big picture of, say, somebody skiing on Blue Mountain. Over here, over the top.
Yeah.
Do like a Christmas light show.
Yep.
And then the box where the table is.
Yeah.
Walk, you know, come back to Blue Mountain, you know, put the copy there. And then right here where it has the couch,
right,
do a picture of the mountains just during the summer.
Yeah.
And then that combines all the year and still be able to put my postage where it belongs, my address where it belongs.
Yeah, and you have see where it says inhabit and the address? You could put your logo and your address right there. I'm not sure what it's saying down at the bottom here. I can't really read it, but I mean, you.
That's that looks like it's a customer.
Okay.
That's customer address.
Okay, so I would say that you could include a phone number there and an email address or a actually not email, phone number and a website and a phone number. That would be a great place
link
to
it
put
back
that.
to the Facebook page.
Yeah, or link it back to the Facebook page. Absolutely.
I can't wait for you to see the Facebook page. I had two versions of it.
Yeah. Do you have it here tonight?
I'm getting ready to. Well, actually.
Because you could show it later. I mean, I could have you. I'd take the desktop and you could show it later.
Or I can send it to you. You can look at it.
Well, I could do that. I could give you a critique of it if you want to send it to me.
Well, I can send you the PSD file because I haven't PDF'd it yet.
Okay.
How do I send it to you in Zoom?
In Zoom? I don't know. I've never done it. I have no idea. Yeah, you could send it. Why don't you just send it to me? Send it to me in the web Outlook. You have my web address, right?
Email.
Yeah, send it to me in the email, and then what I'll do is I'll just when you say it's there, I got Outlook. I'll open Outlook up real quick and I'll download it and put it up here, and we'll open it up and take a look at it. Unless you want, why don't we just do this? Why don't we just little later on? I'll excuse me. I'll give you control of the desktop, and you can open it up on your computer, and you can explain to me or go over it with me what you're doing.
Actually, I'm already in the process of getting the email done.
All right, well, that's fine. You can email it to me. When it's here, I'll get it, open it up here, and then we can go over it. Either way, we'll go over it. So one way or the other, it's fine.
Okay, here's the one I'm putting in the PSD, and then I'm going to put the other one that I'm actually working on.
Okay.
Because I'm doing 2 versions of it, but I'm really not comfortable with the second version because it took me a little bit to figure it out.
Right.
When was the last time I modified? That was 10:45 p.m. So this is 11 p.m. I think.
Well, let me play the rest of this thing because there's only 2 seconds left of it.
Agenda down at the bottom of the piece. Following these guidelines will ensure a smooth delivery of your mail papers. Thank you for watching, and always feel free to contact us at Modern Postcard for any direct mail questions you may have.
Okay, so I like this. I like this because this gives me a really good idea for how I could lay this out and get access to maximum space. I mean, literally, we're using all of this space right here for our creative, which is great. All of that
gives
that's maximum. A lot of space, and it has a nice geometric kind of look to it. And logically, I mean, you can do some things with this. So, I mean, you'll have this link. You can go in and you can check this thing out if you want and just look at it and get it into your head and maybe put together some kind of a back along with the front. The front, of course, you don't have to worry about. You can do anything you want on the front, 4-color process, whatever kind of creative stuff you want to do on it. And obviously, on the front, you can bleed stuff. I don't know whether they want you to bleed stuff on the back. I'm not sure about that. They don't really tell you this. But if you want to continue looking into this, you can.
I would put a bleed on it just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, see here they've got some templates. There's this, I guess, what does it say? When mailing a folded product, the fold must always be at the bottom of the mailing panel. For trifolds, mailing information must be in the middle panel. Well, no kidding. All right, well, anyway, this is, this is just extra stuff. But anyway, there's your this is a folding panel, I guess. That's what it is. And inside there'd be information. This is a trifold, I guess. I've never really made a trifold this way. I've made a folding panel, but I made a long fold. I made one that opened this way. And I've actually made one that opened four panels this way for a company one time. That was very cool. Came out very cool.
Well, remember when we, in one of our classes, we had to do the trifold brochure for Aqua?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing used to drive me nuts.
Yeah.
The
only reason it don't drive me nuts is I've done a lot of them, so that's why it doesn't drive me nuts. I've done so many of them, Yeah,
I was happy when I got the call from Project Acon, and they said, "Hey, can you do this quickly and on the fly?" And I was like, "What do you need?" And they said, "We need a complimentary coupon for staff members so that they can, get free food, up to $10 worth of free food."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, send me the copy. Send me what you have to have on it, all the requirements."
Yeah.
And in about 20 minutes, I know this sounds really messed up, but I did a little bit of research on, they wanted something that couldn't be easily copied.
Right.
So I went with clear plastic.
Yeah.
Red background, light blue lettering, and their logo. And I put a watermark on it of their logo in reverse.
Oh, cool.
And it was such a hit that it's going to stay in production.
Great.
And by the way, you should be getting an email.
Okay. I'll give it a couple of minutes and then I'll go check it out.
Okay. But having that real life experience for me was just like a rush.
Absolutely. And when you get a chance to produce something and you step up to the plate like you did and did something quite interesting, I mean,
And quite quickly.
something on clear Mylar like that is a very clever idea.
And it's also very hard to use a home copier for it because one, you can't get the material very easily.
Right.
And two, that watermark is so opaque, is so faint. I dropped the opacity to like 2.
Yeah, so it's very light. Did you use both sides of the Mylar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had stuff on the back and showing through the front. So yeah, so it would have not worked out if they tried to duplicate it. It wouldn't work out because it wouldn't be printed on 2 sides. There's no way.
And yeah, and Chris had shown me, Chris Power had showed me a printing company online of 4 over.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And they were quick about getting it to us. Great. And it was inexpensive, and the convention was like, "We'll call you later if we need more things."
That's what happens. You know, you get these situations where you do something for somebody, you do a nice job on it. You might not make a whole lot of money off of that one thing, but if you do a really good job on it, you may find that this customer is going to start coming back to you for other stuff. So, you know.
Well, I did it pro bono.
Well, that's fine.
That was my volunteering.
Yeah.
And I've known the convention owner since she started the convention. I used to work it as security.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it was great to have that happen.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a fun project. Let me just quickly check the email, see if this actually got here yet. There it is.
She can find it, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here. What we got here? Download. You got 2 of them in here?
Yeah.
Download. Do I got to download them separately? I guess I do. All right.
This one that you're downloading now is the bigger one.
Okay. It's going to open up in Photoshop.
Yeah, this is the one I'm working on that I'm not sure I want to use.
Okay. Let me get the other one then. Let me go to the other one.
The other one's the one I've already stuffed in the PDF.
Wow. Okay, it's this one. Here we go. Yeah, that first one looked good. So, I mean, I only briefly looked at it, but
I love Facebook, so I have like 2 profiles, one for professional, one for personal.
Nice. Yeah, that does look good.
This is the one I wanted to turn in, but I didn't know if it would be enough.
Why not? You know, I mean, what you're doing is you're creating mock-ups at this point. You know what I mean? You're not actually producing anything. You're creating mock-ups.
Now,
you know? So really, you know, what you're doing is you're just trying to give them an idea of how this
what it would look like.
Exactly.
Now, on this one, as you can see, there's a guy skiing down the mountain.
Yeah.
That's Blue Mountain.
Okay.
That was taken in 2013.
Is that actually shot at Blue Mountain, the resort?
Yes.
That's a resort shot. Okay, cool.
That's actually the Blue Mountain that we're talking about in the campaign.
Uh-huh.
And then the bottom picture down here.
Yeah.
Was from in the 1980s when they were getting ready to do a big ski down Blue Mountain.
Oh, okay.
That's actually at the resort.
Yeah. Amazing.
But if you look at the cover photo on the first one,
yeah,
it has a caption on it.
Yeah.
See,
if you can ski the Blue Mountain, you can ski anywhere.
Yeah, and that's what they've said. They said for years that was the quote for the resort.
Yeah.
Was if you can ski Blue Mountain, you can ski anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking about putting on the bus wrap.
Nice. That'd be nice.
Because
one suggestion, you might want to consider that blue for the top line. I'm not exactly sure that's...
I may go with the gold.
Maybe white or gold. Try white. Maybe white might make it pop a little bit more.
Okay.
The gold down at the bottom I like. I like the gold very much, but I'm thinking maybe, you know, as a contrast, maybe just try white. See what see what it does. I don't think there's enough white in that cloud to kill the white above it. You know what I mean?
No.
And there are ways that you can
Well, I was thinking about putting a drop shadow on it.
Either that, or what you could do
If
is
I do the white.
you could put a slight blur behind it, a sort of black, instead of putting a outer glow.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is I put an outer glow, but then I turn it black by going normal instead of whatever it is.
Yeah, I know.
I make it black, and then what I do is I make it very, very light, just so that what it does is it stains the background slightly, popping,
so that it pops.
Yeah, popping it off. That's right. I've seen a lot of people do that. I've done it many times. But even with this, you've done a lot more with your Facebook than I did with mine. I just basically put together a banner. Again.
Well, you saw the one that actually that's gone into the PDF. It was like basic.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I'm saying is, I think you made a great effort here, and I could give you a good grade on this because this looks beautiful. This is more than I did. I've got 2 demonstrations in here, and mine are just a banner and one side of a card. Well,
what's really fun is I went and got for Twitter and Google Plus and LinkedIn. So I could, if I've got the extra time, I can throw them in.
Good.
And that way it has all social media presence.
Great. It's a great idea.
Tell you like Twitter for summer, LinkedIn for winter.
Yeah.
And
so
holidays
are you going to submit? Are you going to submit this one, or are you going to submit them both?
If you want, I can finish up the long one, this one.
Yeah.
And submit them both.
Why don't you do that?
I still got to write the 150 words though.
Well, 150 words aren't as much as you think they are, really.
No, I can baffle that much.
That's all you got to do. I had to write. You wouldn't believe how much I had to write. I'm so relieved. I spoke to my.
Yeah, you were telling me you spoke to your instructor and said.
Yeah, I spoke to the other one today. I didn't speak to him. I got a email from him. Right.
Wow.
He was saying that he was very happy with what I did. So I said to him, I go, well, you guys are great. You guys are great instructors and mentors. I hope that I can be as good as you are with the students I have. And I said, maybe you can tell me what's next, because I don't exactly know what's next at this point.
I will tell you, when you and I first met, we locked horns.
Yeah.
Over the whole Watermark thing.
Okay.
And after we had another class together right after that.
Right.
And I started to see you in a different light.
Uh-huh.
I went from arg to, oh, wait a minute, he makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got you last time, I was actually very happy.
Oh, good.
That I got you.
That's great.
Because you went from me being GER to me understanding where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And you made it easier for me to understand.
Well, so I'm supposed to try to make it easy. I mean, at the same time, I got to give you the right information. But part of my job is to try to make it easy.
To me, you're also tough and fair.
Well, there's a certain balance you got to, it's a certain balance. The bottom line is you're going to walk out of these courses with the knowledge to get you a job, and you're going to have to be able to produce.
Walk the walk.
Yeah, and I got a lot of people, that come into Blackboard that want to sit there and have me do everything. And it's almost like they deliberately try to get me to do everything. And I try very hard not to get angry and say to them, you people want me to do this. I know how to do this. You got to learn how to do this,
Yeah, I know.
And they go out of their way to make it seem like they don't understand what I'm doing because they literally want me to do it. It's, Well,
I've had classmates in the past.
Yeah.
That wanted me to help them do their work.
Right.
Because, my work was up there where it should be.
Right.
And I'm like, if you're paying X amount of bucks for this, you don't need other people doing it.
Right.
Yeah, you guys gave us some stuff that was easier, but it got us into the hands-on part. So that now we can use our brains and go out there and go, hey, I can do this. Because if it wasn't for the teaching of my teachers, I wouldn't have been able to do the ACOM project.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what you're here for. You're here to learn this stuff. Believe me, there was a time it was a long time ago, but there was a time when I didn't know anything. I started doing graphic design work. Somebody gave me a job. I never did a graphic project, and this lady gave me a job working on first day of issue cachets. I illustrated and designed them for her. And
Wow.
I mean, I had never had a design class. I can show some of the work that I did when I was actually a junior in high school when I started this. And it was funny
Wow.
because I would go into my class and I told my art teacher at the high school that I was doing this work. And my art teacher said, well, he goes, you can come into my class and you can spend the entire time doing that work. And he says, why? Because that shows people in the class that there's money to be made doing this, because you're actually working and you're making money, and these are projects that are going to be produced. So he actually let me work on them in class. I did all that work in school, in class, in high school.
Well, I've been frustrated these last couple of mods,
Mm-hmm.
that I've had to repeat.
Yeah.
Because my outside of college life has been so interfering with my work.
Yeah.
That it's not the work ethic that I normally have.
Right.
I mean, it bothers me, but I know I have to do that stuff
Right.
to succeed, to have a happy home.
Right.
But I still need to do this stuff and get it where it's supposed to be, so that when I go out into the work world, I can say, hey, I've got this ethic.
Well, both of these pieces look pretty good.
Well, then I'll put the photos in and do the fake videos.
Now, one suggestion, do you see how much space you have over here? Can you see my little cursor?
Yeah.
Can you see the amount of space you have here and here?
That's the actual template I'm using.
Well, no, I know. I'm saying though, you see all right, but I'm saying, you see how much space there is here?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, you've got a lot more space. You can knock off some of that space and knock off
I could
that
crop
space.
it.
Crop it in tighter and submit it that way. And I'd submit both of them. I mean, are both of these essentially done? Or you're gonna add a couple of more things to them?
I'm gonna add the photo panels to the long one.
Right.
And the video panel, put pictures in for the video panels, and then I'll be done with it.
Good. Okay.
And the other one, I just need to crop.
Great. So yeah,
they both
look good. They both look good. Put them both in. I mean, the more you put in, the better. I mean, what the hell? So put them both in, definitely.
Works
and
for me.
They both look really good.
Sounds like a winner then.
Yeah, I mean, at least now I'm seeing that things are moving ahead, and there you go.
Yeah, you know that I'm actually doing something.
Absolutely. And these both look pretty terrific to me. I don't have a problem with them at all. So, all right.
That makes me feel so much better.
Good. All right. Well, let me see what I got here. This is what now? This is just from, all right, that is that.
And tonight I'm supposed to be working on the storyboard as soon as I get the Facebook stuff done.
All right. So this was what I found. I haven't actually put this link in yet. I will put this link in if you want it, although it looks like you're pretty much done. But basically, this just gives you some interesting tips on creating a Facebook banner that rocks. And what I'm trying to tell you is I only created a Facebook banner. The only reason I did it was because I worked on that bus graphic for the Mexican cafe, and I thought, well, maybe I'll do a postcard for the Mexican cafe, and maybe I'll do a banner, a web banner for Facebook for it. And let's see if I can modify things a little bit and sort of see how far I can take things, and sort of spin around a little bit and see what kind of flexibility I come up with. And I came up with modifications on. So in other words, they're not exactly the same approach that I took on the side of the truck, but they resemble one another. You'll see in a minute. I'll show it to you. So anyway, stand out amongst the competition, showcase your creative skills. We'll show you how to utilize Facebook banner size to the max. So this is the kind of thing I like to know. How do you deal with size and stuff? In this article, We'll give you Facebook banner size and other basic tips to help you create a Facebook cover image that will wow your friends, clients, and colleagues. I may be building a Facebook page for John Carino. That's why I want to know this myself. And I've never really built one. I didn't even build one for myself. I just basically opened up a Facebook page, and I don't remember what's on mine. I don't think there's much of anything on mine, really.
Well, I'll show you my personal one.
Okay.
I haven't done much with my professional one.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to do this,
Yeah.
I don't even have to send you anything. I know you hate chat.
Yeah, you can chat. Where is it, chat? Let me see. Do we have a chat?
There.
Where is it?
Take a look at that picture.
Wait, whoa. I'm trying to figure out where that chat is. Chat is right there. Okay. There we go. So there it is. That's
my personal one.
Okay, it's very nice.
Now you see the artwork in the background?
Yep.
That's my artwork.
And what'd you create that in?
A combination of a FOSSIS, which is a fractal program.
A fractal program?
Yeah, a FOSSIS, the fractal program. And I went and filtered it in Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm a Photoshop junkie.
Yeah.
But I
a lot of people are. A lot of people like Photoshop. I like Photoshop. Don't get me wrong. I love Illustrator. I'm an Illustrator junkie. I love working in Illustrator. I take every chance I can to work in Illustrator because
one of my best friends, she's like, you lost your, because I moved about a year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost my Wacom. So she's like, I never used mine. You want to borrow it? And I'm like, as soon as you get it to me, I can start doing more graphics work. Because I miss it.
What happened? You lost it when you moved? You forgot it?
It didn't get packed, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've never had a Wacom. I've never used one. I don't know. I probably would like it. I've never used it. I've never tried one.
It's like drawing on paper.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people say that. I've never tried it.
Yeah, it really is like drawing on paper. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I can do the pen tool in Illustrator and do what I need to do in Illustrator with a Wacom better than I can with a mouse.
Well, working with a mouse, I can tell you, I remember when I first started working with a mouse, I honestly thought, oh, I'm never going to be able to do this. I really thought that. I mean, it just to me made no sense whatsoever. But it's a very funny thing. I'm left-handed, so I do basically everything left-handed. I can't write a lick with my right hand. But when I started learning how to mouse, I thought to myself, everybody seems to be right-handed, and the mouses are always set up for the right-handed people. And since I don't know how to work with the mouse anyway, maybe what I'll do is I'll see if I can train myself to use the mouse right-handed. So I actually learned to work with the mouse right-handed. So now I can write with my left hand, but I can't mouse with my left hand. I can mouse with my right hand, but I can't write with my right hand. It's kind of crazy, but
I'm ambidextrous.
I'm not at all. I'm not at all. I'm not that bright.
Well, when I started out as a child back in the day, I wound up being made to write right-handed, whether I liked it or not.
Well, let me ask you this. Were you originally left-handed?
Yes.
So you were originally left-handed, and at the time they forced you to go right-handed. That made you ambidextrous. See, I was left-handed. Nobody ever pushed me or forced me or made me go right-handed. Nobody even, made
Oh, I never did with my kids.
You did?
No, my oldest son is left-handed.
Yeah.
I encouraged him to be left-handed.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because to me, it makes more sense.
Oh, I don't know. It makes sense to me because I've never been any other way. I've never been made to do it. And as I say, nobody ever made me or requested me or asked me, I just never happened. So,
yeah.
But I've heard a lot of people say that at some point or other somebody made them go right-handed. And, you know, that's how people end up being ambidextrous, because I do believe that, you know, if you are left-handed, your tendency is to go left-handed. You learn to go right-handed, just like with the mouse. I learned to mouse with my right hand. And I probably, if I tried to mouse with my left hand, I probably would be able to do something, but it would be so bad that, you know, it would almost be like I wouldn't get anything done, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but I never got a tablet. I never got one. I never actually been around one. They have one. I teach at this museum in Montclair, and they have them up there, but they're where the instructor is at the front. They don't have one set up. So, and even if it was set up, what I'd have to do is I'd have to go online and I'd have to read how to work with it, because I wouldn't know how to work with it without some instructions, because, you know, I've never had one.
Right.
So I don't know, maybe I'm missing something.
You are a little bit, but if you're more comfortable without it, I wouldn't worry about it.
No, I'm not that concerned, but this is nice. I like this very much.
Well, right now I'm putting photos in while we're talking.
All right, so anyway, in this article, we'll give you the Facebook banner size and other basic tips to help you create a Facebook cover image that will wow your friends, clients, and colleagues. You may not need this, but I just thought, you know, I saw this and I thought, you know, this has got to be something in here that might be worth reading.
Oh, there is big value in Facebook.
Yeah, that's why I thought it would be something. And what I'll do is I'll keep the reference so that if I ever get into a course where, you know, they have to make a Facebook deal, I'll actually submit this to them. The option on Facebook.
DES 250.
Is that what it is? DES 250? They do a Facebook?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Then I looked it up the other day.
I probably taught that once. I don't know. I don't remember, you know.
That was the only time I ever had Dana Alderman.
So the option on Facebook to add a banner to brighten up your profile, a fan page, offers an excellent opportunity for creators and agencies to showcase their smart design and put a smile on people's faces. However, Facebook banner size is fixed, and there are strict guidelines as to what appears in a banner. So we'll look at the most important guidelines you need to follow, and then we'll take a look at other design considerations to take into account when creating your banner. Avoid copyright infringement, right, by featuring your own work, as Miriam Hanini has done to great effect with her Facebook banner. Facebook guidelines, as well as the law in general, dictates that you must avoid using images that are not yours when you, well, I mean, you'd have to be kind of a clown to put images up that, unless you're doing something sarcastic.
Well, that's like, you know, the picture of the elf that I have for my personal logo.
Yeah.
I contacted the artist and said, hey, I'd really like to use this because it's my mood most of the time.
Yeah.
And she said, well, okay, just do me one favor. Don't edit the picture. I said, well,
Right.
I'm going to use it for my Facebook profile. I'm only going to chop off part of it, but I'm not actually going to chop it. She says, oh, if you're cropping it, that's fine. Just don't do anything.
Yeah, don't modify it.
Right.
Cropping is a form of modification, but if she accepted that particular method, then that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I leave her original image intact wherever I use it.
I think that's probably more what she's concerned about, is that you don't go in there and savage the rest of the design.
Yeah, because simple fact, that's just wrong.
Right.
I treat other artists like I want to be treated. So if I want to say use their work, I contact them. I make sure it's okay with them.
Right.
Because if you don't, you're only leaving yourself open.
Oh, well, that's what they're saying right here. If you think about it, it isn't the worst thing in the world. You want your Facebook page to be unique. So you might as well use a unique image. And you certainly don't want a public dispute erupting over owner-creator of the original image. Yeah, so, I mean, you really have to come up with something on your own, which, you know, listen, we're graphic designers. That's what we do. So we have no trouble in doing stuff like that, you know? You're not allowed to add a call to action in your banner. Please click, like, share, buy, download. Adding an arrow directed down, directed towards the like button is similarly off limits. So they don't want you to hokey the thing up. No sales pitch. Let's see what they say about that. No sales pitch. Clever use of imagery can make your sales pitch all its own. So yeah, so I agree with that, you know.
So do I.
Well, I actually have a Facebook thing where I've used copy on mine. And well, you'll see, I'll show it to you what I did. Clever use of imagery can make a sales pitch. Officially, you're not allowed to mention a price, a promotion, or a special offer on your banner. All right, so I've seen a lot of e-commerce websites flouting this rule and seemingly get away with it, but it's probably best to avoid. After all, pictures worth 1,000 words. The only thing I can say about that is a Facebook site, a Facebook banner like this could be a marketing opportunity if you are proactive in continually updating the art. In other words, you could do seasonal art with seasonal messaging as long as you keep preparing the art and changing it regularly. You see my point with that?
Yeah.
That's probably something that you might consider if you were going to do something at Blue Mountain. Maybe seasonally you would change the picture, come up with an alternate picture that would show another season.
Yeah, see, with me on my personal Facebook, about once every 2 to 3 months, I post a new artwork.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a business that might have a seasonal bent to it. You know,
yeah,
like Carry Me London, that I'm sure they have seasonal products. So, I mean, I could see them changing it periodically. And they could do that without mentioning a price or a promotion or a special offer. You could just basically show seasonal stuff, you know? No
yeah, like the Austin August Escape tour.
So I see I violated this. No contact information. Facebook won't allow you to put your contact information, email, phone, address, number, address, so on the banner. There must be a mentioned in the about section of your page. So I have, when I get to show you what I did, I have to remove a section of it because I have a phone number on there. So I have to take it off. Try Dropbox business free. Design advice. Now that you know the do's and don'ts about creating Facebook banner design, let's look at what you can do to make it look great. Facebook banner size. This is probably where we get into some good information. And first of all, make sure to create your banner the right size. Facebook banners are 851 by 315. So I got a question for you. Where did you find the information for your size for your banner? Did you find it in Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. So you actually went in and you looked up in Facebook where they give you instructions as to how to set up your image.
Yeah, and they're very particular about it too.
Good.
Because if it doesn't meet requirements, they will get mean about it.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, I try to make sure every image I put on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I always do that too. I always do that too. When I create something, I try to actually, you know, build the right size. I always look to make sure it's the right size. I don't have to do things like that when I'm working on art in Adobe Illustrator because it's so very flexible. But when you work in Photoshop, I shouldn't tell you this because you should know this. When you're in Photoshop, you have to be very conscious of the sizes because you can't really enlarge things without lowering resolution. You have to lower resolution to make things bigger, and that can cause problems, especially if whatever you're working on is going to be going to print.
Exactly.
So anyway, Facebook will ask you to adjust a picture. You may end up cropping an important part of the picture. So yeah, I mean, I know the size. Great idea. Watch out for image resolution. Facebook lowers the resolution of your image when you upload them. See, this is the thing that you got to be very careful about when you are optimizing your art, when you're optimizing your JPEGs, because that's probably, when you sent yours up, they were JPEGs, right?
PNGs.
Oh, you went up with PNGs. Okay, so PNGs, Well, even if it's opaque, PNGs, I don't think they optimize PNGs. You can't optimize a PNG.
No, you can't. You can in Photoshop.
No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can optimize a PNG. I think PNG, the point of it is, especially with transparency, is that to get that level of transparency, they can't optimize it. So it's whatever size it is, whatever resolution it is at that size. That's the difference between JPEG. Whereas JPEG, you can bring it into a save for web dialog box, and you could literally modify the resolution, not the resolution, but the image data. You can actually, optimize it, make it smaller and smaller and smaller until you literally destroy the image. So the problem with this is if you send them JPEGs, what they're saying is Facebook lowers the resolutions of your images. There's your problem. They're lowering, first of all, when you create a JPEG, you should never optimize it more than once. It should never be optimized more than once. A JPEG should be optimized correctly the first time, and that's it. A lot of times people will reopen. I do it too, like when I'm working on projects for students and stuff, because we're just not playing, but we're learning. And these images, and we're not going to, send them to any kind of production environment. I'm just showing them things. So if we damage the image slightly by reopening it, reclosing it, and stuff like that, that's not that big of a deal. But in reality, when you create something like a JPEG, whatever you optimize it to, that should be it. You should never go back in and re-optimize. As a matter of fact, you should be very careful opening it up in Photoshop, because when you open it up in Photoshop and you close it, there's a slight bit of optimization that takes place even if you don't ask for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to be very careful with that. That's another reason why it's such a good idea, especially in Photoshop. When you're working on a particular piece, always save the original Photoshop file somewhere so that you can go back in and modify from the original. And that same thing goes for Illustrator as well. If you create something like a logo or something, always save the original Illustrator file so that you can go in and
yeah, I have folders on my hard drive that under a box called a folder tree called My Art.
Yeah.
And basically all it is my PSD files, my AI files, my Bryce files, whichever artwork I'm working with. I have, for the program, I have each program their own files, and that's where all my originals are.
Good. Yeah, it's smart.
I'm an organizer.
Good. Wow, man, you wouldn't believe some of the stuff I see.
I would. Trust me.
I have people come in here and they got stuff everywhere. And half the time they can't even find what they're working on, what they're looking for. And I sit there and it's almost like you get the feeling that they want me to tell them where to go to find the stuff. And I'm like, I can't do that. I have no idea where you.
I'm not on your hard drive.
I'm not. It's not my hard drive. It's your hard drive. I have no idea where you put this. I don't even know where to tell you to look for it. And it's true. I mean, and then I've seen people with so much junk on their desktop. It's like everything they've ever done is sitting on their desktop. Now, I got a lot of junk sitting on my desktop, which is, I'm not trying to say I'm perfect or anything. But,
oh, no, you're not.
But I'm a little bit organized, and I certainly have folders where I put stuff in. And I may be working on stuff, so I'll leave a folder sitting on the desktop because I know I'm going to be back in it in a couple of days. And it's a lot easier to find it sitting on the desktop than it is to go, browsing through my folders on my hard drive.
For me, I have my Google Drive. Whatever I'm currently working on is in my Google Drive.
I've never used Google Drive.
I love it.
I have it. I can use it. I've never used it. I've never even tried to use it. So, I'm one of the.
I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Yeah, I'm technology resistant. It's a funny thing. Like certain things I'll jump right into and do, and other things I just don't do. It's really odd.
Yeah. I've been there myself.
So write your page's name. May not be allowed to add marketing information when you create a Facebook banner, but you can add your name or the name of your business. First thing your fans will see is the banner, so writing your name distinctly will help make an instant impression. Harmony. Don't just choose a generic photo that could fit for any activity. Try to find your banner try to fit your banner to your page esteem. Too many companies settle for generic lifestyle shots, which is unlikely to make people remember your page. So if you run a cake shop, ask yourself whether your Facebook banner could fit the page. Well, wait a minute now. Basically, when you create a Facebook page, we're in this particular class, you're working on a campaign that's going to run a year. So what you're doing, whether you realize it or not, is you are coordinating a certain small group of items together, so that what you end up with is a cohesive approach to marketing for a year. So when you create something like a YouTube page, or I'm sorry, a Facebook page, you really need to be thinking about what else am I doing and how is this going to coordinate with my other stuff. You want people to be able to look at any piece that you are producing and get the same basic message. Even if you don't use the same photos, even if you don't use the same colors, there should be enough of a similarity between them that people will understand that they're looking at the same business.
Yeah, that's why I tried to stick with, pictures from Blue Mountain.
Yeah, and both of those are nice.
I went and dug out. Now, granted, my summer stuff is just stock photos.
That's okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. That's fine. These are make-believe projects. So, and I mean, I said to you, you might have to rely on stock photos. So, yeah.
And placeholder text.
Yeah, it's fine. That's not a problem. I mean, I totally get it. And what I'm really looking for is the cleanliness of your work, the fact that you're doing it and that you're doing a nice job with it. And the two that I saw look pretty good. This is one that I think is really important. Be creative. If you're a great photographer or illustrator, showcase your best work. If you're a designer, don't hesitate to spend a little time on this design. It's worth it in the long run. Facebook banners are a great place to show your skills and creativity. For some people, it will be first, possibly the only time they will connect with you or your brand online. You have to make the most of it. And that, goes for when you're working on a particular project for somebody. I mean, when you're doing this, give them some creative thought. Give them something good. That's what they're looking for. That's what they want to pay you for. Keep it fresh. People are likely to visit your Facebook page on a regular basis. Consider varying the content of your. See, now that's what I was saying before. People are likely to come to your Facebook page on a regular basis. Consider varying the content of your banner often to keep things fresh. You use Google a lot?
Yep.
Okay. Do you notice how Google is, constantly changing the graphics that they have on their Google
because
search?
They want people come back.
Right. They're constantly changing. There's constantly something new to look at there. Sometimes it's an animation. Other times it's a static graphic. But you can pretty much count on having something different nearly every time you go back there. And, people like that. I mean, I know people like that.
Oh, yeah. They like it because they can say, oh, wow, look.
Yeah. Look what they got now. That's clever.
This has changed.
Yeah, so here, this is basically, I didn't put a link in on this. If you want me to, I will. I'll put a link in on this. I like that. Yeah, I can do that. I put it in for you, and you can download it later on. Now, okay, so here's the other thing. Did you say that, I'm going to keep this out. Did you say that you were going to do a YouTube video?
I have to do a storyboard. That was week 3.
All right. So let me get back to what I was saying about this. Actually, let me go down to my storyboard. I think it's 73. 73. All right, so this is there it is. Okay, so there's my storyboard. So as I was telling you before, this basically, you should recognize this storyboard layout, because the storyboard layout is the storyboard layout that was provided in this course. And the reason I chose to use it was because, we were going to actually have one that we're going to build for the course. And I thought, well, you know, let me at least build one for us so that you can see what I did with mine. Mine is very simple. And again, like I told you, I have basically section A, B, C, and D. And John and I talked about what were the sections of his presentation. Section A, the first section, implant conundrums. They talk about implants and the difference between screw-retained implants and cemented implants. So that's the first section, and it is the lecture outline A. And the section B, what the literature says. So there are specific bits of literature on this, and it is the second thing that he addresses in his PowerPoint presentation. Now, mind you, this presentation is like 170 slides. So this
Wow.
this is a very complicated. Well, did you look at any of the videos that I created, the YouTubes?
Yeah.
Did you see the one where I did some of the video?
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
I think I only did like about half of the video. I didn't do the whole video. The whole video goes well over 45 minutes, and I don't think I did all of it. I'm pretty sure I didn't do all of it. So
That's just wow.
yeah, I mean, this was a very big project, but I have to tell you something. This project came out so well. This guy, John, who I did this for, he's already talking about 2 other videos he wants to do. He was telling me that he actually now is a Rotomedical distributor, not a distributor, but he's a lecturer for Rotomedical.
Wow.
Rotomedical is a brand new prosthetic company that is producing a brand new set of implants. These are really, really incredible implants, and nobody in the state of New Jersey has them yet because they haven't really started putting them into the market yet. They've given them to John, and they want John to use them, and they want him to build cases. And then what they want him to do is to go out and lecture based on his cases with the implants. So John called me the other day to tell me he did his very first implant with Rotomedical. And he says, I want to do a video. I want to do a PowerPoint on it, and then I want to do a video on it. So he's already got one definitely in mind that he wants to do. And there was another one he was talking about doing, but I didn't get the whole. I didn't quite figure that one out. There was one other one he was saying he was talking about, but the one that he made a big stink over was this brand new case he did for Rotomedical. And this is something that's interesting because I talked to this guy John for over a year trying to get him to do this video. And
wow.
I don't think he really quite understood what the video was going to do for him. So it was almost like, I'm not saying he wasn't interested, but I didn't light a fire under him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how I got around that was I'm actually doing a final project. I actually got the chance to utilize one of my PowerPoint presentations for one of my master's degree projects, which is a redesign, and he wanted to redesign it, so I did that, and that went extremely well. So I asked my instructor if for my final I could do this video, and he said, oh, that would be a great project. Is it a big one, and who's going to do it? And originally I was going to do it in Camtasia, but then it turned out that John's cousin is not a professional, but a dedicated photographer and videographer. So he actually filmed the whole thing for us. And for a first run at it, he did very well. The only place we had a problem was some of the audio didn't sync up quite as well as I would have liked it to sync up. But other than that, it came out really beautiful. So anyway, what I did was I prepared this storyboard because I knew you were going to have to prepare the storyboard. And I just wanted to give you an idea of what I'm looking for. So, you know, again, this is all from section A, B, C, and D. All of this has to do with a PowerPoint presentation. So what I did was I showed sequence one. I showed one of the slides because remember now there's 170 slides. So I gave a representative sample of what the slides would be in section A. I didn't bother doing it in section B. I went back and did it in section C, and I didn't bother doing it in section D. Why? Because John knows exactly what section A, B, C, and D is. He knows that whole PowerPoint presentation. I actually never even really did the storyboard. The reason I did the storyboard was for you. And then after I did it, I thought, well, you know what? Within a week, I'm going to submit my final project. So I might as well stick the storyboard in there too. And I did. Yeah. So the only thing that I did was the opening sequence and the closing sequence. In the opening sequence, John Carino in his operatory is introduced and he welcomes the viewer to the presentation. John speaking from his operatory in ADONP, which is, you know, Advanced Dentistry of New Providence. In a closing sequence, John in his operatory thanks his viewers, provides additional contact information to the viewer. John speaks from his operatory in ADONP. So really, it's the same thing. He's there doing that, and he comes back at the end and does that. The rest of it is this entire PowerPoint thing. So that's all I did for mine. And to be honest with you, if you do something along the lines of this, you'll be good. Okay, I guess you're going to maybe do sketches or something, or maybe you can do pictures and explain what the pictures mean in the context.
That's what I was going to do pictures.
Okay, so basically, however many sequences they are, or however many sections they are to your video, and what each section is. That's, I guess, what we're looking for. I end up with 6 on mine. I don't know how many are going to end up on yours, but keep in mind, mine is in reality, it's 170 some pages or 170 some slides. So it's big. So it's 6 sections. Yours
it makes mine look tiny.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this was a master's final project as opposed to an undergraduate final project. So yeah, they're not looking for this. They're not looking for this monstrous thing. And thank God I actually had this project in reality, because they wanted me to do stupid projects. I mean, they were telling me stupid things to do. And I said to the guy, I said, come on. I said, I got something better. Well, what is it? And I told him. And he said, yep, that'll be fine. And you know what? I have to tell you, both of my instructors told me how great it looked. So, you know, and I got 100 on it. So
that's the best part.
Yeah. So anyway, there's what you got to do for your storyboard. So you should be able to pull that off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how to use the graph tool? Or the chart, I mean the table tool?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I actually demonstrated the table tool, I think
last week?
No, it was either week 1 or week 2. One of the two. I don't remember which one it was, but it was week 1 or week 2. Because to be honest with you, I never use this. I've never had a chance to use it. So I started using it, and I thought to myself, you know what? I don't know whether Casey knows how to use this or not. So I'm just going to do a whole section on how to use this thing, and hopefully, you know, at least if she doesn't know, she'll see how I did it, and then maybe we'll help her. So like I said, I never used it, so I thought maybe you didn't either. I didn't know.
Yeah, I've done storyboards before.
Okay. All right. So you all right with it?
About 30 years ago.
Okay.
When I got my associate's degree in video production, I made commercials and stuff, so I do understand how to do them.
All right. You think it'll be a problem?
Nah. Storyboards, I can knock them out. No problem.
Good. All right. Anything you're looking at that might be a potential problem?
At the moment, not really, but I have your number if I fall into one.
Okay. And you know I'm also not coming in on Friday. I won't be in Blackwood Friday. But I will be tomorrow night from 7 to 11 and Saturday from 7 to 12. And that's Mountain Time. Where are you located? I forget now.
I'm in Central.
You're in Central. So you're an hour behind me or 2?
Hour.
Just 1 hour. Okay.
Yeah, put it this way. I'm in Dallas area.
Oh, you're in Dallas. That's my sister lives in Texas.
Yeah, I live in actually the Colony, which is the northern suburb of Dallas.
Uh-huh.
So,
she lived in the Woodlands, and then she moved somewhere else. Have you ever heard of the Woodlands?
Yeah, I know where the Woodlands are.
You do? Okay. I have no idea, but that's where she lived. And then she moved to some other place. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a nice place,
Well,
especially the colony.
and then what I did was, this is my final project. Let's see if it'll play. I actually embedded my final project. I think this is one of the things that they like so much about it. See if it works. I embedded my final project into my final thesis so that when you get to the final page, you click it. I guess it takes a little bit of doing to wake it up, but you could actually play it. And to make sure I got it to him, I Dropboxed it, I emailed it to him, and I put it into my final assignment submission.
Wow.
Yes, and he got it. They got it, but I wanted to make sure he got it. You see, here's the thing: I pay a certain amount of money for 6 months for my master's degree, and if I'm able to, I can finish in 6 months.
Hello and welcome.
There you go.
Dr. John Carino.
Did you see this?
I'm seeing it.
No, did you see it before though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before
this is the final project that I submitted to him.
Screw-retained crowns and cementable crowns.
This guy loved this thing.
Now we have a new way.
I can see why. It looks professional.
It gives us the best.
His cousin did this filming. I was originally going to film it. You know how I film myself at the beginning of my in the beginning of our lectures?
Yeah.
Originally, that's how I was going to do it.
The only thing I have issue with is it's hard to read the white text on that blue.
Yeah, well, he's reading it though. He's reading it though, and there's no white text after that.
Well, on the first page there was.
Yeah, but I'm saying after that it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that it's all.
And actually, if I were to go to, and I'm not going to make you watch this whole thing. I just wanted you to know that I actually embedded this thing into my final thesis paper and sent it to him so that everything, including my final project, is in that final thesis. So it's more than just a thesis. It's a complete
it's the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, it's a complete project document, which, I think that's probably why he gave me 100% on it, because he knew that I had done so many interesting things as opposed to just writing a thesis paper. And I think what he said was, I think I actually had to do, what was it? I think it was like 30 pages. I think I had to do 30 pages. I ended up doing 74 pages.
Wow.
Yeah. But here's what made it easy. The course that I had to do before the thesis, what was called research. So my thesis ends up being all sections of my research. I did 12 different research documents. So what I did for my final thesis was I went in and I went through all 12 of the documents and I created my thesis around those 12 documents, and I created a book. I created not a book, but an e-mag. It's not really an e-magazine, but it's sort of like
an EPUB book.
Yeah, an EPUB. It's an EPUB type of a deal, So, and again, I incorporated things like if you go back to page 2, if I go back to page 2, I think it's 2.
Yeah.
I got links, I can go in here and I can go to different pages and stuff. And then I have returns and things like that. So, that's why I was telling you that, you should think about doing these things because it really makes a difference. And, I doubt very much that he read this whole thing. He probably read some of it, went back to the back and looked at the final project, okay, and went, oh, this is good, He might have read the whole thing, but I seriously doubt it. I think what he did was he just went through and checked everything.
He skimmed it.
That's right. And he was happy with what I had done because of the amount of effort I put into it. On all these pages, there's like all imagery, you know what I mean? Like I got imagery on all these pages and they all relate to the article. And I tried to vary things as much as I could while keeping a general flow, which, you know what I mean? So there's a similarity to the whole thing, but I tried to vary it and make it interesting. One of the things that my first instructor said was that he preferred to have pictures at the top and at the bottom, whereas the second instructor, who I ended up with, said that he liked pictures to flow through the document. So since I was doing this project for him, I flowed images, so it's more like a magazine. When you at some pages there's not a lot because there's questionnaires and stuff, but you see what I mean. There's that kind of a look. It's almost a magazine kind of look to it.
Yeah, it does have that feel.
So yeah. So anyway, that's that. I just thought you might be interested in that.
I am interested.
Okay, so
I thought it was cool.
let me get this thing to open up here. What's the matter now?
Yes.
There.
Facebook is done.
I can't. This thing don't want to open. I don't know what's going on here. Now with Photoshop.
Yeah, mine was acting kind of funky.
There we go. Here we go. Oh, jeez. There we go. Okay. So what I did. So anyway, you know, I'm saying that both of these look great, and so you're going to do now. What are you going to do on this one?
Okay, I cropped that one. It's already done.
Okay. So are you ending it here?
I'm cutting. Yeah, I'm cutting.
Okay.
I cut the sides off so that it'll
Yeah.
fit
So it's
better.
more like it's somewhere in the neighborhood of this.
Right. And I just finished. Yeah, that's about right.
Something like that.
Right. And then I just finished the other one.
Yeah. Okay. And then
Because while we were sitting here chit-chatting,
Okay. So this one, would you just put something in here?
I put, yeah, the blue boxes,
Yeah.
they're all changed out to pictures.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And right now, I just realized there's one thing I have left, and I'm getting ready to take care of it now.
Good.
So it's like, yeah.
Good. Well, listen, I mean, you're getting through it. That's the important thing. You're getting through it.
I'm mucking through it.
Make sure that you understand the submissions and you put in the proper things for the submissions so I can grade them, because I want to catch you up.
Yeah, in the process, after I get through with this, I'm going to write the 150 words talking about both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I get that done, I'll put them in to the PDF, resave the PDF, ship it to you.
Good.
And then go from there.
Good. Yeah. Because
And
I mean,
it's a
I like to look at
storyboard.
this. I like to look at this. The only thing that I'm going to have to do to you is I'm going to have to.
You're gonna have to knock off. I understand.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to knock off for lateness, but other than that, I can easily see myself giving you full credit for the rest of this stuff. Be careful what you write. Make sure that your copy is well written and you know, sounds good. I have to tell you something. I have never been a writer. I've been afraid to write my entire life. This is the weirdest thing. I've been
I'm
afraid.
a writer, so.
I'm not. I've never been. I've always been extremely uncomfortable with it. Okay, and I told my instructor when I started taking this master's degree course, because I was scared to death. I really was. I know it sounds really stupid, but I was scared to death because it was all going to be writing. And I said to the guy, I said, I'm really uncomfortable and I'm nervous about this. He says, don't worry about it. He says, I'll help you. So he did. He helped me tremendously. And I have to tell you, by the time I got done with this, I am a much better writer, and I am not uncomfortable doing it anymore. I basically, you know, I'm not perfect, but I am not afraid of it. So
To be honest, nobody's perfect.
No, nobody's perfect. But again, what I'm saying is I carried for the longest time this feeling that, you know, I just can't do this. I'm no good at it. And I'm scared to death trying to do it, you know. Not anymore. I'm not really. I don't have that much of a problem with it anymore, you know.
Yeah.
So that's only because I did so much of it. I mean, Jesus, I must have done overall, I think I did over 10 courses. And each course had at least 12 individual, like we have four courses or four parts, right? Week 1, week 2, week 3,
Yeah.
week 4. Well, each one of my courses had 12 weeks. Now, I didn't have to do them in 12 weeks. I could do 2 and 3 and 4 a week if I could do it. And here's what happened to me. I turned 65 March 1st. So I went in after March 1st, and I went for, what do they call it? Social Security, right?
Yeah.
So they tell me, I go in there and they tell me I can't make more than $16,000. If I'm going to take Social Security, I can't make more than $16,000 the first year. So now I have to go and I have to stop working for some of the people that I work for so that I can stop. So you
can get your stuff.
So I can, yeah. Because otherwise they're going to penalize me. So I had to stop some of the work that I did. So what that did, though, was that gave me an abundance of free time, which I then applied to the master's degree. So I was actually doing 2 and 3 of these things a week. And it did take me close to a year. I'm on my last month now and I'm finished. Or so I hope. That's what I'm told. I finished. I still got 1 month left. So I did it in 11 months. I did it in 11 months.
Congrats.
Well, let me tell you something. When I got out of Cooper Union, I went to Montclair University and I was going to go for a master's degree in education. And I went in there and I did the entire course. I was in my there was the one last course I had to take. And what happened was I had this teacher who was an absolute horror. I mean, this was the worst teacher I think I've ever encountered practically in my entire life. And I couldn't stand her. I finally ended up just walking out and saying, I'm not coming back. So then I was going to take the course over the summer. And what happened was I never got around to doing that because they didn't give the course over the summer. And instead of taking it the next fall, I got a job at an ad agency. And I worked at this ad agency for like about 6 or 7 years. And at that point, I ended up getting married and I had my first kid. And I completely forgot about going back and taking that one stupid course.
Wow.
And then 19 years later, I thought to myself, you never really finished that course. What an idiot you are. And I called them and I would have had to go back in and take the entire course all over again.
Oh, wow.
And it would have gone to Montclair. The Montclair would have cost me over $20,000 to do it. So
that's small compared to what we're paying.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking. Let's see if it was what year was it? I would say probably around 1998, 1997, somewhere like that is when I looked into it. 96,
Wow.
So yeah, but it's a lot of money for this stuff, and I was lucky enough to find this place, and I'm going to get a master's in visual communication, which in my opinion is a good one for what I do.
Yeah.
So hopefully I got it.
Well, I'm thinking bachelor. Go ahead and get my master's in entrepreneurship, and then possibly coming back for my BA in web design.
So what are you going to be doing? You're going to be doing your capstone, right? Capstone for what? BA in
my last
graphic
class.
design? Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm
BA in graphic design?
Yep.
All right, so you'll have a BA in graphic design.
See, I have no idea what the capstone is.
Capstone is essentially the equivalent of a thesis, which is a final project and a paper, I guess. I'm not exactly sure because, nobody actually physically told me, but it's probably some sort of a document that you're going to create, which will include some sort of writing and some sort of a combination of images that you created, some kind of a booklet, some kind of a thing like that. It's a final project. So it would probably have to be something that would relate to you having something that you could go out with. You follow my logic on that?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking the capstone is. In my particular case, it's a final project. And my final project is supposed to demonstrate as much as possible of what I learned through the course of my master's degree, which, I mean, this project I did with John more than did it. I mean, really, this would have been an advanced project for me no matter where I did it, under what circumstance. It was, and I told the guy at the time, I said, you know, really, this is the perfect project because it's real. This isn't something that, you know, I'm just going to present to you and I'm going to, you know, half step it and it's going to be, you know, never produced. This is going to happen, and I'm going to submit this project to you that in its final stage, you know. So he's like, oh yeah, let's do it. So, you know.
And with this project that I'm doing now,
yep,
I'm feeling accomplished because I'm seeing different steps of graphics design that I want to go into.
Yeah.
You know, in the beginning, it was like, oh, I just want to art. And then I got bit by the logo bug.
Uh-huh.
I think every graphics designer gets bit by that bug.
They're
But now, the more and more that I'm in it, the more and more I want to go to social media.
Uh-huh.
Because I spend a lot of time on social media.
Do you? And
I see what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I believe I'm headed.
Well, good. Learn everything you can about it, and think about what you can do to create unique experiences. You know, maybe see if you can work around video some way. I mean, I create videos using Camtasia, and that's only,
I know that program.
Yeah, and the only reason I use that is because I don't really have a copy of Premiere. I don't have it, or After Effects. I don't have those two programs on my.
You haven't gotten them with your degree, with your pro account that the teachers get, or
I didn't think they were on there because I didn't actually think they used them in the curriculum. Did you ever work with any of them in this curriculum?
Animate.
Animate. No, I got Animate. I got Animate, but that's
Premiere. I grabbed it all.
Did you actually get Premiere?
Yeah, I've got Premiere. I've got
I'll
everything.
I'll have to go
Adobe
look because I didn't think we were getting it because I didn't think they used it.
I don't know if I'm supposed to have it, but I have it.
Okay, well, I'll go check it out later on and see. Maybe it's there, but I don't have it. I use Camtasia because what I generally do is I generally go into Zoom and I do something like, if I'm going to do a lesson, what I'll generally do in this particular case, I didn't have to do it because there wasn't any particular thing that you asked me about that I would do a breakout video on. But I've had often where students would say to me, could you, somehow give me an idea of how this is done? And I'd say, well, how about a video? Would you like me to do a little video on it? And they're like, yeah. So what I do is I go in and I do like maybe a 5-minute video explaining it. And then I'd put it up on YouTube and I'd send them the link. And usually if I do that for one of the students in the class, I usually send it to all the students, because a lot of times what one student gets stymied by,
another student
a number of them. Yeah, a number of them do,
Mm-hmm.
So, this way they all get them. And then what else I do is if I create a video like that, are you familiar with the, what is it? It's the Independence Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I create anything like that, I put it right in the Independence Facebook so that then anybody and everybody can see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You share.
Yeah.
Now, if I could just remember where I saved.
So there's my card. Now, this is my Facebook banner. See, I only did the Facebook banner. I didn't go through the whole process of building the entire Facebook like you did.
I like that.
Well, again, it's if you look at let me go file open. Let me go back and let me find my truck. Where's my truck? It's Tino's Cafe. Where's the bus wrap? Open up the bus wrap. Bus wrap 3, I think. Okay, so here's bus wrap. Now, bus wrap is different. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really completely different. In bus wrap, I focused big time on food. All right.
Yeah, but you got the continuity of the food in your Facebook too, because you're using the Mexican meal as your Facebook.
Yeah, I thought
picture.
in the case of a bus wrap though, the food would be a better way to go. When I got to the card, when I got to a business card, now again, this picture, just so that you know, this picture has nothing to do with Tino's Cafe. It's not Tino's Cafe. It's just a picture I found that looked like it looked like a really good Mexican picture to use. So I used that Mexican picture. And then I found these three mariachis, and you can't even see their music. Look, you can see part of his music here, and you can see part of his instrument here. But I actually liked the three mariachis sort of sleeping there with Tino's Cafe and the authentic Mexican cuisine. I just thought it was kind of a clever looking card to do. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to do it as a card like that, I'd do something very similar with the Facebook.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Tie them together.
Yeah. So those are the three pieces that I did. Now, just so that you know, if you handed in something like that, that would be acceptable. But what's nice is you actually went in and you handed in, or you're about to hand in, like an entire
whole thing.
Yep, you're showing me an entire presentation of a
what it would look like
Facebook
if Blue
page.
Mountain had one.
Yep, that extra work makes it look all the more convincing because remember these are mock-ups. So where I'm just mocking up the banner, okay, you're mocking up the whole thing. And here basically is the one thing that has to go right here, and that is the let's see here where we got the likes. Let's see here. Where are you? Is it in the logo? Tino's Cafe. No. Background. Would it be in the background? No. Likes. No. Where is it? Oh, wait a minute. 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 Where are you? Phone. Okay, here it is. It's in this line right here. Okay, so let me select that. This is the one thing that's got to go.
Yeah, you can't have the phone number there. Right.
So let me just go in and let me just knock that out. And I'm on the right layer, right? Yes, I am. Delete. There you go. Select, deselect. Authentic Mexican cuisine. So now that I've done that, I can just move that guy down a little bit. There we go. And now that's a little bit better. Let's go view, fit artboard and window. So really, these look, oh, that's you. These look a little bit different. See what I'm saying? This is a completely different approach than these two things. But I thought, because we're not focusing on the actual restaurant here, we're focusing on the food for this. I thought maybe for the Facebook banner, we focus on the restaurant. These three characters, I just thought they were funny. I just thought they were pretty good. And they made,
I like them.
They made something interesting to look at, and wonder about. So I thought this would be a good thing to do. And you see what I did here with Tino's Cafe? I kept the type and I kept the logo and I kept the color. But what I did was I did a completely different presentation of it. It almost looks like glass,
Yeah.
Then I kept the authentic Mexican cuisine, the phone number, the same type, same look. And I did the same thing over here. Face banner. And I brought the food back for the picture, kept the Tino's Cafe down here in just plain red and white. It don't look too bad that way.
Mm-mm.
So that's what I did. But you did much better. What you did is much better. So what do you have left to do?
Oh, I'm putting the effects on the white lettering right now.
What white lettering? Oh, you mean on the banner?
Yeah.
So no, what I'm getting at is you created the two YouTube
The two Facebook
pages. Did you do a card? Have you done anything on the card yet?
Not yet.
No. And how about the bus wrap? Have you done anything in the bus wrap yet?
I penciled it out on what I want.
All right. And so you're going to do a card, and you're going to do a bus wrap, and you're going to do the Facebook.
And if I have time, I'll do Twitter and probably LinkedIn.
Okay. Now, when you say Twitter and LinkedIn, what are you going to do? A banner for that, or what?
Yeah, covers.
Oh, okay.
Banner cover.
Now, how much difference are Twitter and LinkedIn?
They're all. It's a matter of sizing.
Is it similar?
Yeah, they're very similar.
They're very similar. All right.
Yeah.
What does Twitter look like? Let me go to Twitter. Let me see.
You've never seen Twitter?
You know, I haven't been there in a while. I haven't had a reason to go there.
Oh, I love Twitter.
Right.
See, I'm a social media junkie. I admit it.
What happened here? Did I get it? There we go. Boy, it's just slow.
Oh, I love that.
What?
The idea that you gave me.
What idea?
The idea about putting some kind of backing on the white text.
Oh, you mean that
On the
little bit of haze?
Yeah. On the long Facebook.
Yeah, that helps, doesn't it?
Oh, it popped. You'll see.
Features. So.
Yeah, I'm teasing you.
All right, I'm seeing a bunch of videos here. Where would be?
Okay, that's not Twitter.com. Oh, you have to have a Twitter to log in.
Oh, is that what it is? I don't have it. I have to.
Yeah. A lot of them are just. Sometimes it's video, short, tiny videos, or animated pictures.
Well, what I'm wondering is, what does a actual Twitter page look like?
Go to www.twitter.com/Alexandra.
/ALEXANDRA.
No. ALXA.
AL. Wait a minute. Whoa. ALX.
AL.
A.
No, ALEXA.
Hold on. ALEXA.
SH.
AN. DRA. Okay, I should have had you do that in the first place. There we go. All right, so there is. Okay,
that's mine.
Yeah, it's nice actually. Yeah,
and
it's
see,
nice.
Basically, you got the circle
it's different. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's different. All right, so you can put videos in here then, right?
Yes.
And are these videos extensive videos, or are they just short videos? Do you have like a length?
I've watched TED Talks from Twitter.
How long do the videos run?
Usual, anywhere up to an hour long.
Oh, no kidding! Really?
Yeah.
You know, when I did research, the reason I'm asking this is because when I was, and I'm gonna bookmark this page. Let me bookmark this page. Where are we at here? Let me bookmark that page. All right, now let's see here.
That's my Twitter.
What is Geysa? Oh, this year.
Geysa is a screenshot caption.
Okay. All right. So this just okay.
So say like you want to show me, and we're not in class. Say like you want to show me a picture or something, and you don't have any of my social media. You can take and just copy the part of that picture that you take, and it will bring it up as a URL that you can share instead of having to share the actual picture.
Right. So you're saying that you can actually embed video. Could you embed a video, an hour video?
Yeah.
You could do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But usually what you do instead is you put a URL into it because of the way that the video.
So the URL would then take a person to like a website that has the video on it and play it.
Yeah.
Okay, that might be perfect, because the reason I'm saying this is because one of the things that I discussed with John was how we were going to take his video and bring it to the public. And one of the things, when I read about Twitter, I didn't understand. Maybe I misunderstood it, but I thought they were saying that you could only put tiny little videos, sort of like almost like animated GIFs. I didn't know that you could put expansive videos on it.
Yeah, you can, but basically the way you want to do it is do it as a
Link
URL.
it to a URL. Okay, and that's fine. That would be fine. That's fine. So, okay, well, that's interesting. I had no idea about that. So he's taught me something.
I'm glad. I mean, I've been using Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn for about 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of gotten to where I know them pretty well.
Well, the one that I'm most interested in myself personally is LinkedIn. Although I have to be honest with you, I've had a lot of students from Independence University ask if they could link to me in LinkedIn, and I've let them all link to me. I initially.
That's good.
Well, I also have a lot of them come to me and want to link to me through Facebook, and I also do that. They actually told me originally that I had to set up a Facebook so that I could link to students, which I don't have a problem with. I mean, every student, if I can help any student at any time, I have no problem with it. I used to have one student that used to come to me almost every other week, and she had graduated a year, and she was still coming to me. Whenever she had a question with something, I haven't seen her in about 6 months, but she came for the longest time and came and would ask me this, that, and the other thing, and I would, help her with it. And then another week or two later, she'd be back in again, and she'd come in as an alumni.
Yeah, Dana and I hang out on Facebook together.
Yeah, but
so
I didn't.
I understand.
I have had a lot of students recently. I've had a lot of students that I see them turning up and requesting to link to me LinkedIn, and I do it. I guess there's no reason why I wouldn't do that.
I mean, it's a cool way. I mean, I still have former employers that link into me. Matter of fact, one of my last supervisors before I went on medical leave and never came back,
Huh.
he basically sits there and writes me glowing reviews because he's bored, which I find amazing.
Yeah, no, that's very nice. That's very nice and very helpful.
Oh, yeah, because people can sit there, like my son's father.
Yeah.
And I worked 4 jobs together.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently, I looked in my LinkedIn and it said, Andy Ransom has endorsed you for software documentation. I used to write books in tech support.
Oh, really?
Pretty much every time I would take a ticket, I would write a book of what I did.
Yeah.
That I wrote a lot of knowledge-based articles. I taught classes.
Good.
So I understand where you guys are at.
Good. Excellent.
I've done that stuff.
So,
and here, I was gonna hit a Geizo for you.
A what?
One of my Geizo shots.
What's that?
Because like I showed you my other thing.
Yeah.
Well, let me open up Geizo again because there's something I want to show you.
So when I go back to Geizo, what do I do? Just update the page and it'll switch? Is that what'll happen?
No, I have to send you a new link.
Oh, a new link.
Which it'll be ready in a minute.
That's fine.
And then you're gonna go, okay.
No problem.
I'm giving you a sneak peek.
Good.
Instead of having to send you the
file
again.
Let me ask you a question. So, so you're looking at a bus wrap. You're looking at a card. Are you going to do a front and back or just the front?
I'm going to do both sides.
Okay. So you're going to do a card. You're going to do a bus wrap. You're going to do a storyboard, right?
Right.
And then
Storyboard's next.
so those are your 4 pieces. You got two Facebooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
And hold on one moment. Go ahead and take a peek at that.
okay. You sent it to me in chat?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right,
And you can close the other one.
all right, so it's 8:44. That's the one. Okay, there it is. Okay, hold on. All right, let's see here. Okay.
And if you click on it, you can zoom it, I think. But that's the second Facebook.
Oh, I hate these things. They got those little.
I hate them too.
Yeah,
Just close it.
that's what I thought I did, but they fool you. See that thing right there?
Yeah, I never.
Close. Where's the close in this stupid thing?
That I
Like,
don't
you
know.
never figure out where the close is. Here's the zoom. Let's see if I can see. There it is.
See? I put the drop shadow. It
Yeah.
popped it.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, you did.
Now that's what a Blue Mountain web Facebook page should look like. And it even
Yeah,
has Blue Mountain.
That actually Blue Mountain.
Yes.
Wow, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and all the pictures except for the green ones and the first 2.
Yeah.
And the lodge, because the lodge is like abandoned and dilapidated.
Wow.
But the rest of the skiing pictures down there are all pictures of Blue Mountain.
Yeah. It's a beautiful place.
It is.
I'm almost shocked. I mean, there must be another lodge up there. I mean, Blue Mountain's obviously not there, but is there something else that's up there?
Not in that specific area.
Really? That's amazing. That's a shame because that's gorgeous. Look at that.
It is. I mean, when I decided to take Blue Mountain, because the easy way was just to go edit my old Discovery Island one, and I was like, no, I want to do something different. And the more and more you said research Blue Mountain,
right,
the more and more I fell in love with the place.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
look at it. I mean, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that myself.
Well, I've gotten to the point where I'm seriously thinking if I ever win the lotto, I'm going to reopen the place.
I don't blame you.
Because that's just too spectacular.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful.
And the nice thing about it is in the summer, what they didn't think about is in the summer, they got a nice wooded forest right around Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
Around the resort.
Yeah.
Plus, the Adabo Mountains are clay mountains.
Yeah.
The red clay.
Right.
So in the summer, that could highlight that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's that gorgeous that I can't imagine that they wouldn't have horse trails and be able to go horseback riding up there. I mean, geez, that'd be phenomenal to be able to go horseback riding up there. Geez, I'd love it.
Yeah, that's why when I picked that picture, that's probably going to be my bus wrap picture, to be honest.
I can see why you'd choose that. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Because the minute I saw that picture, and I just fell completely in love with it.
Yeah, it's nice. That's nice.
I didn't realize with this assignment
really
that I would
beautiful.
actually, fall in love with the product.
Right. Yep.
So that's why I've been
really
putting
good.
A lot of love and
So
caring.
this is your page layout for your what I'm seeing here is your page layout for your ebook.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, that's my actual logo.
Yep.
For my actual company that I will be starting, or I'm in the process of starting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Black Star Design because my nickname is Black Star.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine in high school told me I was brilliant like a black star in the sky.
Ah, that's cool.
And I've been stuck with it ever since.
It's not bad. It's kind of a great name.
And that is actually my actual information on when you see it on my letterhead.
BlackStarAirmail.net, www.blackstardesign.net.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm in the process of getting my web space. I already have my URL.
Yeah. Yeah, your page is cut off a little tiny bit at the top there.
Well, that's just the way the
Yeah,
picture
it's
is,
okay.
but
No,
in the actual document, it's
yeah, it's
not.
on there. Yeah. This looks good. I mean, I can't wait to see the whole thing. This is fine. This is what you're going to submit. This is good. Very good.
Yeah,
You're
and
going to write. You're
changed.
going to have what, another page with some copy on it. How are you going to?
Yeah, there's
work
going
the
to be a
copy in?
case with a copy on it,
Mhm.
and then there'll be a postcard. Do you want copy for the postcard?
Mhm.
And of course, obviously, I'm probably going to wind up adding pages to this document. I mean, I originally set out for 20 pages. So hopefully I'll use all 20.
Wow, good.
I figured, you know, the last time I took it, they suggested putting it all in one document. So
Yeah.
you can actually see the growth.
Well, look, I mean, I showed you my thesis. My thesis was 72 pages. I think they asked me to do 30 pages now that I think about it. I think it was 30 pages I had to do originally. And I ended up doing 72 pages. I actually, at a certain point, I actually started to get a little bit frightened because, you know, I don't know whether you're aware of this or not, but in England, you know John Major?
Yeah.
Okay, John Major, and then there's another one. What's his name? Another British guy. I can't think of his name now. Simon.
Tony?
What's the last name?
Oh, God.
You know what I'm talking about, Simon?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's...
Cowell?
Huh?
Simon Cowell?
No, there's another one. Oh, what's his last name? I can't think of his last name.
I can't either.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, they're both British. And what they tell me is if you go to school in Britain, if they ask you for a 30-page thesis, it's got to be 30 pages. It can't be 31. It can't be 29. Did you know that?
Yeah, it has to be even number.
No, it has to be the exact number.
Oh,
It has to be, if they say a 30-page document, it's got to be 30 pages. They don't want you to give them 31. They don't want you to give them 29. They want
you have to be very exacting.
Yeah, in other words, what they want you to do is they want you to sit down and edit yourself down to where you have 30 pages. You know what I mean? They don't want more. Whereas in the United States, everybody wants more. Everybody's more. If you come in with more, everybody's impressed by it, which personally I think is a better thing because it shows that, you know, you're not
more hard work.
Yeah, you're not working less, you're working more. In their mind, though, what you're not doing is you're not refining yourself. I think that's what the British believe. They think you should.
Oh, they're all about refinement.
Yeah, they want you to refine yourself. They want you to, you know, control and put things into a tight little box. You know, they don't want looseness. I don't know.
No.
I'm probably not expressing that the right way, but
I know what you mean.
I found that interesting. I thought to myself, my God, that must be really tough, you know, to have to, if they say 30 pages and you're doing research and the research is over the course of 12 weeks. In other words, I'd have to drop out a lot of the stuff that I did. What I did was I included almost everything. I dropped out very little. I put almost everything in because all of the research in effect counts on the actual end result. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, that's why I end up with 72 pages because all of the research that I did from week to week to week was all solid stuff that related to what I was doing and it made perfect sense. So I made sure it was all in there in some fashion. And then I would find images that would support whatever it was I was talking about, which I did with the research. In other words, if I had one particular topic, I'd make sure before I got done with the topic that I would have pictures that I would need to support whatever it was I was talking about. And, you know, I'm working with this guy, John, who I'm actually doing the work, but I can call on him and ask him for support. If I need something like, what would I do for this? He'd suggest something or he'd send me something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting project.
I'm sitting here putting my guides in.
Excellent.
Because, you know,
So
I want uniformity.
Working on this. Good. I'm glad that you're working on this and getting it done, because I'm not, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I was starting to get more and more worried that you would not be able to catch up. I did not want that to happen. I wanted
And
to,
as you can see, I am catching
no,
up.
I'm very happy. I'm seriously very happy that you have. I really mean it, because I was worried about you, and I want you to know that,
I
mean,
know, phone calls still.
I really do care. I only got one student here. If I had 20 students, I'd be worried about all 20
You'd
of them. I
still
got
call.
you. Huh?
You'd still call.
Yeah, but but I call the people that I worry about. If I see somebody is not getting something done, I call because I want to make sure that, I let them know, whatever I can do to help you, let me know. Because not everybody I have to call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were having trouble with, what was it? You're caring for somebody who has cancer?
Yeah.
How is that person?
I'm in a lot of pain, but
Uh,
we're doing the best we can with him.
uh-huh.
I mean, every day is a new experience. Like today, he fell out of the bed. So I had to help get him into bed.
Do you go to his place of residence?
I live with him.
Oh, you live with him. Okay. Now,
Yeah,
does
he's
he
my
live at
roommate.
your house? Does he live at your residence, or do you live at his residence?
I live at his residence.
Oh, okay.
My mom and I and my kids live with him and his daughter.
Oh, okay.
And I take care of him plus my mom.
Right. How's your mother?
Mom's easy to get along with.
Is she all right though?
She has kidney disease.
Uh-huh.
But she takes less maintenance than he does.
Uh-huh. So you
Not
take
good.
care of both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how old is your mother?
71.
71. Wow. That's amazing.
She's 71 young.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
And my the gentleman I take care of, he's 69.
Oh, okay.
And he's a 3-time tour Vietnam vet.
Thank
he
God.
He got hit with Agent Orange, and
oh wow, so many of them did.
And he lost his legs to diabetes complications due to Agent Orange.
Wow.
I mean, it's all not so much fun and games.
No. How long has he been missing his legs? How young was he when that happened?
He was in his 50s.
Oh, rough. Wow.
Yeah.
That's rough.
And I've known him for about 20 years.
Yeah.
And he is one of the most independent people you will ever want to meet.
Yeah.
And he's a lot of fun when he's not in pain.
Yeah. Pain is a killer.
Oh, it is. It's brutal.
Yeah. And having to deal with that kind of pain is difficult. Very difficult.
It's the worst.
Yes, it is.
Oh, and I took your suggestion.
Yeah.
About the text of my document.
Mm-hmm.
I switched over to Verdana.
Oh, good.
I went through and cleared the whole thing and just went boom.
Good.
Selected everything and changed it to Verdana. That way it works better.
Great.
And it flows better. So yeah, you were on the ball 100%.
Good. Wonderful. Well, we only got a couple of minutes left. So is there anything else you need at this point?
When I'm saving this document, should I save it in spreads or pages?
You can save it as pages because it's an EPUB.
Okay.
And generally, I feel an EPUB should flow like page to page to page to page, like my thesis does.
Mm-hmm.
That's, to me, what I would prefer. So
okay.
I'd save it that way. Is that okay?
That's perfectly fine with me. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, I didn't save mine as spreads. I thought it'd be better to run page to page to page. I think it's a better overall look.
Yeah, it works for me that way too. I just was making sure because
that'd be fine.
Spreads, others want pages. You never know what people want.
Yeah, no, I think if you do that, that'd be good. And tomorrow night and Saturday, if you need me, all right?
I'll holler.
You have my phone number and you have my email, whatever. Okay.
Don't be surprised if I call you during my capstone going, explain this to me.
Fine, no problem. Do it if you have to. I mean, I usually have my phone with me. I may not be able to talk every time someone calls, but I usually have my phone with me. And since my birthday is March 1st, until next March 1st, I kind of can't make more than $16,000 a year. So I have a little more free time now than I had before because I had to drop some of the work that I was doing. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying if you need any help, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do it, okay?
Yeah, I'll give you a holler, or I'll show up in Blackboard. But right now, so far, I'm doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I got to knock out the storyboard, which won't take much.
Okay, good.
And then after I knock out the storyboard, then I can start the bus wrap, which that goes.
You probably find that fun.
Oh, the Facebook page to me was relaxing.
Yeah, and I think you'll find the creativity involved in doing a bus wrap. You'll probably find that enjoyable.
Oh yeah, because I remember when I had to do a trade show mock-up.
Yeah.
And I had to create one for. We had to pick a product, and I picked Smart Water because I drink Smart Water constantly.
Do you?
Oh yeah, between that and Core, I got my 2 waters.
Yeah.
It helps me lose weight.
Good. All right. Well,
and the thing of it is I did the mock-ups for that, and I found it to be so relaxing.
Yeah.
So I love doing mock-ups.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what all these things are. So, you know, have fun with them and let's see some interesting creative approaches. I tried to show you a couple of things. I hope some of it was new.
The whole postal thing was new, and it just inspired me.
Good.
And I'll probably do that in Photoshop.
Great. That's fine.
Okay, well, I will talk to you probably before Saturday for sure.
Very good. And you have a good night and good luck. And as I say, any problems, you let me know, okay?
You bet.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.